Conference will now be recorded.
Okay, fine. So, welcome you all to the first session for the Power BI class. So, today we are going to understand about the introduction class to the Power BI. Okay. So, as a data analyst, why do we need this Power BI? Okay. Why do we need this Power BI? We are going to understand in today's class. Just a minute of time. Just. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry. Yeah, let me start the things. So, as a Power BI, whenever we are going to have any kind of classes being started, it can be any kind of skill. We are going to first of all understand why that skill is needed. Am I right? It can Python, it can be SQL, it can be Excel, it can be statistics, whatever it might be. Why any kind of skill is needed for us to learn, we need to understand. So this course we all know we are learning with respect to data analysis. Am I right? We are all learning this skill set. What we are learning, it is with respect to data analysis we are learning. So we all know what is data analysis generally. Data analysis in the sense we need to analyze the data, right? We need to analyze the data. We're going to follow different types of steps, and we're going to perform the analysis of data by using different types of skills. So what are the various skills we are using for analyzing the data? In the sense, we have the easiest skills. Starting with Excel, we can do the analysis using SQL, we can do the analysis using Python also, we can do that in the Power BI. Am I right? We can do that in the Power BI, and we can do the analysis using the Tableau. Different types of skills. In our course, what are the skills we are covering? I told. But statistics, why I have not written? Because using statistics, we can't able to perform analysis, but it is an integral part of each and every subject we are going to learn. If I say, what is the average of sales? Average is nothing but it's a statistical result. We are going to use some formula to find out that average. Of course, we don't do that manually, but the functions are available in the Excel, in the SQL, in the Python, in the Power BI, in the Tableau. Everywhere the functions are available. So without using any formula from your side, you can able to find out that. So that's the reason statistics is an integral part of each and every subject we are going to learn under this data analysis. So whatever the different types of skills we have, using just one skill also, you can perform the entire analysis. That is the beauty of data analysis. Just using Excel, you can perform data analysis. Just by using Python, you can do. Just by using Power BI, you can do. Just by using Tableau, also you can do. But why we are learning multiple skills in the sense? Because we need to get a job in the market. If I just go and learn just Power BI, and if I go into the market, and that might not be sufficient in getting the job. And with addition to Power BI, if I can learn Python and SQL, that will boost my opportunities, right? Most of the companies who are expecting Power BI, and if you also have Python and SQL knowledge, you'll get better opportunities. People will hire you if a person only having Power BI knowledge and person having Python, Power BI, and SQL knowledge. Person with multiple skill set will be given the preference. Okay, and because of that reason only, we are trying to learn multiple skill set under this data analysis course. So in this, you might be having in mind, okay, we have so many skill set, which is given the more importance among the present available skills. So you can rate SQL is a most important skill set here. After that, I can say Power BI is the most important. Okay, the Power BI here is the very important skill set. Learning Power BI is very simple. Why simple means, SQL means at least you need to have some queries, you need to write it. Lot of theoretical concepts also you need to remember. But Power BI is very simple. Without having programming knowledge also, easily you people can learn this Power BI. Power BI is a zero programming one. Zero means zero. I'll say honestly, zero means zero. At least Python is involved with programming. SQL is having some queries. But Tableau, Power BI, Excel, these kind of skills, you no need to have any programming knowledge. That's the reason overall data analysis course itself is involved with some less programming knowledge when you compare with any other jobs. Why I'm saying all this introduction part, in the sense you need to know the importance of the skill that you're learning here. Okay, whatever the skill you are going to learn today, you need to know the importance. That's the reason I'm explaining you the background of this data analysis. So to perform this data analysis, as I told, just one tool is also going to be sufficient. What are all the steps that you want to perform? You can perform all the steps in this Power BI alone. But why we need to learn multiple skill set? I gave you the clarity. If you learn the Python, it is better to clean the data, whatever the size that comes. And what is the SQL is used for means to interact with the databases. We need this SQL. Why the Power BI is needed means to better analyze the large amounts of data without using any programming also can be performed by using the Power BI. When it comes to Tableau, also the same. You don't need to have any kind of programming knowledge to do any analysis in this Power BI or Tableau. Just by using the tool itself you can perform everything. That is the importance of this and easy way to learn the things also. So here I'll make your job much easy to analyze the data using this Power BI. Okay, so to make you understand about this Power BI or Tableau and all, before I would like to just introduce you to the concept of data visualization. Okay, I would just like to introduce you people about the data visualization. So what is this data visualization is used for? Okay, what is this data visualization is used for? See, data visualization in the sense you are going to represent your data in the form of some visualizations. Okay, whatever the data you have, you are going to represent your data in the form of visualizations. The question is why do we need? Okay, well and good, you're going to represent the data, but why? Because the reason is, whenever you are having some data with you to perform the analysis, it is very much easy to do analysis by looking at the graphs, or it can be charts. Okay, for example, I'll simply tell you a basic kind of example. Let me say I'm having a book is there, a story book was there. So this book is having some 200 pages. Consider book is having some 200 pages. So to read this book and understand the story, it might take some around so many days for you. It depends on the person. So let me say it will take some 9 hours of time to complete. It might take some 4 or 5 days per person. So the same story, whatever is present in the book, was made as a movie. Okay, made as a movie. Now this movie is of 2.5 hours. Now the question is, I am asking few people like, if you wanted to understand the story, are you interested in reading this book or watching the movie? 90 to 95% of people will say, I will prefer movie. If you ask me also, I'll say I will prefer movie. Why? Reason is it is interesting here. Am I right? It is interesting to watch the movie because it might have some visuals present, some kind of storytelling would be there in that, and no need to imagine. First of all, that is the main thing. If you read a book, what will happen? You need to imagine the characters. But in the movie, everything is there in front of your screen. You no need to have much imagination, and easily you can able to do that in the movie. And one more thing is time saving. If you read a book, it might take few hours of time, but I can't say here time as a major constraint, because let me say here movie, I told it's a 2.5 hours. I told you a book can complete if you read for 9 hours, but people won't read continuously for 9 hours. But if the same story, if I made as a web series and release in 9 episodes, which is of some 9 hours, people will continuously watch and complete it in one single day. But the same thing we can't able to achieve with reading a book. So what is the main thing here? A movie is like a visual representation of this particular story. The same thing I'm going to achieve if there is a data for me which is in the form of an Excel file or in the form of a tabular format with a lot of things related to some order ID, what is the sales amount, and what is the profit, and how much is the quantity person brought, like different details. If you have, this is like your book. This is like your book, and the same book, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to try to show that in some terms of some kind of visualizations. So bar chart, you remember these kind of charts? This is called as some pie chart. Don't worry about diagrams. Okay, just I'm roughly drawing, and you might have some kind of line chart. Okay, so if you represent this amount of data in terms of these charts and graphs, it would be easy for people to understand. Am I right? That's the reason why most of the people will opt for, how here people opting for watching a movie to understand the kind of story. Same way, to understand what is happening in this particular data, people will use this kind of visuals to understand. A better analysis can able to be made when you use this data visualization. That is the reason behind why data visualization is needed. Okay, so to perform these visuals, I can't able to directly use the data to perform the visualizations. I need to prepare the data first to go for the visualizations. So we need some data cleaning things. Okay, and we need to then go for the visualizations. So this is the process, and this is the reason why the data visualization is needed. So let us now try to understand a simple line. If I want to say what is data visualization, in a sense, it is nothing but the graphical representation of data. Okay, it is what? It's a graphical representation of data. So what is meant by graphical representation? Representing your data in the form of graphs. Or else another line, if you want me to say, it is the process of it is the process of representing the data, representing the data using the, okay, using the visual elements. Okay, using the visual elements. What is meant by visual elements? Visual elements like charts, graphs, like that. Okay, that is the meaning of a data visualization here. So let us now try to understand the things with respect to how you can perform this data visualization. What are the things in our data analysis course we are going to learn to perform this data visualization? See, what are the things available for data visualization? Let us now try to understand. Okay, so Excel can perform the data visualization. Okay, let me write in the top, uh, tools, tools that can perform, the data visualization. Okay, tools that can perform the data visualization. Among the skills we are learning, Excel can perform the data visualization, but very not advanced way. Nobody will use it, but we can perform. Okay, and we can able to use Power BI, which is most famous. Tableau will perform the data visualization. Using Python also you can perform the data visualization. Okay, in the Python we are going to use some libraries to do that. In the Power BI and Tableau, it's a completely tool based. Without having any programming things, you can able to do that. So that is the reason why Power BI and Tableau, both of these are considered as data visualization tools. Okay, Power BI and Tableau are exclusively considered as data visualization tools, or we can also call it as business intelligence tools, which is BI tools. Okay, business intelligence tools or BI tools. What is BI stands for? In the companies, when you're applying, if anybody asks you, do you know any BI tool? Don't think that that's a separate. This Power BI, okay, and Tableau, these are also called as BI stands for what? Business intelligence. So business intelligence tools. What are business intelligence tools? Business intelligence tools are nothing but what? Data visualization tools. Data visualization tools. Data visualization tools like Power BI and Tab. Excel is not a data visualization tool, because using Excel we can perform a lot of things. But Power BI and Tableau are exclusively used for performing the data visualization, and that's the reason why I'm calling them as BI tools or data visualization tools. Okay, so now let us try to understand the things related to what we can able to perform in this data visualization. First of all, I would like to give you the importance of the Power BI today, because the class here we are going to conduct today mostly with respect to the Power BI first class and introduction to the Power BI classes. So I would like to give you the importance of Power BI. What are the way we are going to follow to perform this one? I would like to make you understand. So first of all, what is Power BI? As the name itself says, as now just now told, it's a data visualization tool is what I mentioned. Am I right? It's a data visualization tool, or we can also consider it's a business intelligence tool. Business intelligence tool. So let me write down a few statements. It is a data visualization tool. It is a data visualization tool, or else let me say, like write business intelligence also. Business intelligence. Okay, business intelligence, I can say analytics service. Business intelligence analytics service provided by which company owns Power BI?
Microsoft.
Microsoft, correct. So it's a data visualization or else business intelligence analytics service provided by Microsoft, and it was initially released in the year of, it was initially released in 2011. So Tableau skill was, or Tableau tool is actually way before Power BI was present. It was actually started in early 2000. Okay, but Power BI, even though it came in 2011, has now completely captured the market of data visualization because of its easiness to perform the tasks, and it is having more kind of connections with respect to different softwares. One of the important reason for its growth is also because of the Microsoft product, and most of the companies use a lot of Microsoft products. The integration with these Microsoft products will be easy rather than bringing some third party tool. uh, it is very much easy to integrate with the remaining Microsoft products. You know about Excel. Excel is a Microsoft product. PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and a lot of other softwares related to Microsoft are available. Like clouds, it can be Azure Cloud. Okay, wherever your data might be, Power BI can pull that. Okay, that kind of opportunity is available in the Power BI. That's the reason in the current market, this completely Power BI. Tableau was seen in very less scenarios, and in the coming future also, Tableau opportunities you can feel very less will be there. Complete focus will be there on the Power BI. So that's the reason in our course also, the complete focus was on the Power BI than the Tableau. Okay, so we're going to spend more amount of time on the Power BI, not much on Tableau, because Tableau itself is a very easy skill to learn, and nothing much importance is there in the market nowadays for the Tableau, because everywhere Power BI is the market leader for the data visualization. So this is a data visualization or else business intelligence analytics service provided by the Microsoft, initially released in the year of 2011. So using this Power BI, we are going to completely perform the data analysis. So which tool we are going to use here to perform this data visualization or data analysis using Power BI means there are actually different types of tools and services Power BI offers. As a company of Power BI, it will be going to offer different types of versions or different types of tools and services. So among them, the most important one is going to be the Power BI desktop. Okay, what is the most important software you're going to learn here is Power BI desktop, and the other tools and services like we have Power BI service, and we also have Power BI report server. Okay, we also have what Power BI report server, like that. Some of the important tools and services Microsoft provides through the Power BI are these: Microsoft Power BI desktop, Power BI service, Power BI report server. So in this, first of all comes to Power BI desktop. So what is Power BI desktop is used for, and what are the various things present in that Power BI desktop, and the complete architecture of the Power BI I just wanted to discuss with you for a few minutes today. Okay, so please try to understand, this will be important for you also in the interview aspects of Power BI. So Power BI desktop is used for performing the or analyzing the data through visualizations. It is responsible for preparing the visuals. Okay, the entire Power BI desktop is used for what? Responsible for, okay, responsible for performing visualizations. That is the ultimate job of Power BI desktop. But to do this ultimate kind of job of performing the visualizations or creating the visualizations, I will say responsible for creating is the better word than performing. Creating you can use, creating the visualizations can be the better word I can suggest. Responsible for creating the visualizations. For that, you need to prepare your data first. Am I right? Directly whatever the data you get from the client, you can't able to use for performing the visualizations. You need to follow some steps here to do that particular visualizations. So what are those kind of modules in that we are going to learn in the Power BI classes will also be delivered for you now. So in the Power BI desktop, you have three different types of modules available. One is Power Query. Okay, first one is Power Query. Second one is going to be Power Pivot, and the third one is going to be Power View. Okay, it's going to be Power View. So these are the three modules under Power BI desktop which we are going to discuss in our course, and I'll explain you each and every one about that particular module separately. So the fourth one is going to be the Power BI service, and Power BI report server is an alternate one for sharing the reports. I'll tell you, just wait a minute. Let us first of all focus on Power BI desktop, later we'll go for one by one. So Power BI desktop, in that I have Power Query. Overall, Power BI desktop is responsible for creating the visualizations, but we have separate roles and responsibilities for Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View also. So what is the role of Power Query? Here, it is used for performing the ETL operations. Used for performing ETL activities. What is meant by ETL? What is meant by ETL? Most of you might know this, right?
Extract, transfer, load.
Yes, correct. Extract, transform, and then load. So this is the meaning of ETL. But what is it actually? Let us try to understand. So when I say extract, meaning you're going to bring the data from where? First of all, if you want to perform any kind of cleaning activities or visualizations, what you need? Data you need. Who is going to give us the data? The clients will store their data in different places. So just have a look at this particular architecture diagram here. So first of all, focus on this one. I have some architecture diagram for the entire Power BI that I'm going to explain you people now. So I told you data would be there in multiple places. It can be through Excel files. It can be stored in the SQL Server. It can be stored in the Oracle. It can be there in the Azure, in the AWS, or the company's own servers, or somewhere Snowflake, Informatica, or else JSON files or Parquet files. Okay, it can be in the Google Sheets or wherever your data might be. Company can store their data whatever the place they want. Am I right? So wherever you have the data, you need to first of all bring the data into Power BI. That is the first job you need to do. That is what here E stands for. In the Power Query, you are going to perform ETL activities. In that ETL, what is the first thing? You need first of all to bring the data. Wherever your data might be, you need to first of all bring the data into the Power BI, into the Power BI desktop. So when you bring this data, next thing is whatever the data I brought, that data I'm going to do the transformations or data cleaning or data transformations I'm going to perform. So that transformations once you perform, you'll get some resultant data. Am I right? Suppose you have loaded some 100 rows of data. After loading 100 rows of data, you have performed some data cleaning and all, and you have reduced that to some 80 rows like that. And that 80 rows, you are going to now load it or store it in some place after performing data cleaning. You first of all brought the data, you performed the data transformations. After performing the data transformations, you are going to store that transformed or cleaned data in a separate place. So for that, I need to load it. The third letter in the ETL, L, stands for load. Load it and store it in one place. Where you are going to load. See our diagram here. The first module here is about the Power Query. Power Query is responsible for performing the ETL activities. In the E, first of all, you are going to bring the data from different kind of source. Okay, whatever might be the source, you are going to bring that particular source first, and you are going to transform that particular data and load that data where you are going to load into the Power Pivot. Okay, into the Power Pivot here is just like your database in your Power BI desktop, the place where you can able to store the data. Okay, again I'm repeating, the transformed data from this Power Query, you are going to load it into the Power Pivot. So whatever the data first of all you brought here, there are some terminologies you can remember. Here it is written as OLTP. What is it called as? Here I am calling it as OLTP. What is the full form for OLTP? Online transactional processing. Okay, online transactional processing. So online transactional processing, in the sense, whatever the data that you got from the client, it would be always going to be in the unstructured manner. It is not much present in the structured way. So for that, I am going to call the data as a transactional data or else OLTP data. Once you bring the data into the, first of all, extracting, and then you are going to transform it, and then the time you are going to load the data, it is going to be considered as your OLAP. What is OLAP stands for? Online analytical processing. Okay, online analytical processing. So as a data analyst, which type of data we are going to analyze among these two is OLAP. As a data analyst, which type of data we are going to do the analysis is OLAP data. Okay, and also we can consider OLAP data is stored always in the data warehouse. What is it? Data warehouse. We'll see the data warehouse concepts in the SQL like that. So here in the OLAP, you're going to prepare some OLAP in that. So that is the architectural diagram says. So you can see in the Power Pivot what you're going to do. OLAP. OLAP data set is also called as semantic model, or else you can also call it as a data model. Okay, data model or semantic model. Whatever the transformed data, you're going to clean that data, you're going to load that data into the Power Pivot. In the Power Pivot, the data we are calling it as what? OLAP. We're going to prepare an OLAP data, we're going to create a semantic model, or you're going to call it as a data model. So in that data model, when you're creating in the Power Pivot, you're going to do two things. Okay, to make this OLAP data from the OLTP. Once the data comes into the Power Pivot, in the Power Pivot, you're going to do two activities. Okay, what are the two activities means? We're going to do two activities. We'll perform, okay, we will perform the data modeling, and also we will enhance the data. So in the Power BI, when you are learning, somewhat critical topic is this Power Pivot. When you compare with all the modules, Power Pivot is the one which needs to be having more importance, because the reason is the concepts which are very important like data modeling and enhancing the data is available here. What is meant by data modeling? First of all, let's see what is meant by the term called as data modeling here. Data modeling in the sense simple. Let me say you have some 2 or 3 different tables of data available with you. Between those tables, I am going to create some relationship. Okay, I'm going to create some relationships. Why the relationships are needed between the tables means, when you are performing the visualizations, the model relationship is needed to get the columns from different types of tables. For that, the data modeling is needed. Data modeling is needed. Simple term as of now you can understand is, for preparing the visualizations from multiple tables, I need to perform data modeling. Data modeling in the sense creating the relationship between the tables. After you perform the data modeling, you are also going to do one more thing I told. What is it? Enhance the data. What is enhancing the data? I have referred to the term called as enhancing the data. What is meant by enhancing the data? Enhancing the data in the sense creating the new information. Okay? Creating the new information upon the existing information by using using DAX. By using what? DAX. What is DAX meant by means? Data analysis expressions. Okay, data analysis expressions. So DAX stands for data analysis expressions. So meaning there are different types of functions or formula based language. So here you are going to learn what are different types of formulas. In the Excel also we used to have some formulas, right? The same types of formulas are also going to be available in the Power BI, and that particular language is what I am calling as a DAX. So here also you no need to do any programming kind of thing. Already functions will be available. You just need to use them and create some new information. So what is it meant by creating some new information kind of? For example, let me say I am having some type of information with me. Whatever the client has given me, there is some information in that. Let me say I have something called as sales information. Okay, I have something called as sales. And I also have something with respect to profit information. So I wanted to know whether this product is giving me the profit or loss. So there are some of the products giving me positive numbers. Okay, and there are something that are giving me some negative values also. Generally it is possible in the profit column. Whenever I have a profit in the positive, it's a profit. When I have a negative number, it's a loss. So this is the existing data. The client wants to know, for every order, do I get a profit or loss? So I want to show here what? Profit or loss. So in that column I will use the existing information. This is an existing information, right? I'm going to use some formula here, some function I will use, and I will create some new information. This column that I'm creating is the new information. These two columns I got from the client, and this is the column I wanted to create. Why do I need to create the new information? Means to handle the requirements of the clients. Whatever the requirements the client is saying, tell me how many products or how many orders gave me loss, how many orders gave me profit. I'm asking what, how many orders gave me profit, how many orders gave me loss. So what I will do here, I'll come and create a new information saying, okay, this product information is greater than 0, then I will say it's a profit, and this is also profit, and this is also profit. And here I'm getting some value which is less than 0, it's a loss for me. So it's a loss for me, and this is also a loss, and this is again profit. So this is the new information. This column information that I created is the new information. By using the existing information I have created this, am I right? If I don't have profit column, I'm asking you, tell me is this a profit or loss, means I can't able to say that. I need this profit column first. If I know the profit value, then only I can create it's a profit or loss. So that's the reason I have told you people here. I'm going to create the new information upon what? The existing information. I created a profit or loss column by using the existing profit column. By using what? DAX. There, some formula I will use. Simply a condition I'm asking you. So I'm asking you, is it a profit or loss? Means you're saying, okay, this number is greater than 0, then it's a profit. If it is not greater than 0, it will be less than 0, you give it as loss. That's the kind of function I will use over there from the DAX kind of languages. We're going to use some function, and based on that function the result is going to be delivered for this new column. This is a new information based on created on upon the existing information. I created some new information here. This type of thing is what I'm calling as enhancing the data. Okay, the term here I refer to enhancing the data is I am going to create some new information upon the existing information by using the data analysis expression, that is DAX. So we're going to do that in the Power Pivot. So once we complete the Power Pivot, once your data was ready, modeling has been done, and the new information has also been added according to the requirements of the client, then what is the next thing? Just have a look at the diagram. Once you have prepared your OLAP, then what you're going to do, you are going to use the data in this Power View to create what? The visualizations. The main job of Power BI is what? To perform visuals. Which kind of module is going to be used for performing the visualizations in the Power BI? Means Power View. Okay, Power View is the software in the Power BI desktop used for performing the visualizations. So I will use the output coming from this Power Pivot, whatever the enhanced data is there, right? That enhanced data I will use for performing the visualizations. Okay, okay, we can create visuals or else Power BI report in this particular Power BI desktop. Okay, so once you can create these visualizations over here, okay, once you can create these visualizations over here, sorry, so once you can create these visualizations over here, what is the next thing you are going to perform? In the Power View you have created the visual. Today I have analyzed some data and I prepared some report of Power BI or a dashboard, you can consider as of now. So I have prepared some visualization. So that visuals, what I am going to do is I'm going to share with the client. I need to share that report with the client. Then only the client can understand what is happening in their business, and based on that, they'll make some decisions. Am I right? So, what is going to happen here now? I have created my visuals. I need the sharing thing. I want to share the report to the client. That is where the next software of Power BI service comes into the picture. So, this Power BI service is going to act like your cloud storage. It's going to act like what? A cloud storage. In that cloud storage you will be going to upload your visualizations, and from there you are going to share with multiple people. Okay, so in this Power BI service used for managing the let me say sharing and collaboration of tools, managing the sharing and collaboration of sharing and collaboration with the collaboration of visuals with the clients. Okay, so complete access related things can be done by using this Power BI service. Okay, Power BI service is used for managing the access or reports with the clients. Now, what is this Power BI service? Is actually it's a cloud storage. It's not like a Power BI desktop software. Power BI desktop is a software. You can install it in the laptops. But Power BI service is not a software. Okay, you need to access that using the web, like your normal websites using app.powerbi.com. Okay, what is the website? app.powerbi.com. If you just go and type this in the any browser, first of all it will ask you for an email address. If you provide the email IDs and all, then it is going to give you the exact access and sharing the reports. So this Power BI service is not a free software. For using this Power BI service, we need to take some subscriptions from the Microsoft. We need to buy the subscription. But Power BI Desktop is a free one. You don't need to pay any rupee to use this. But luckily here, our job of creating the visualizations as a data analyst will be 95% of the times it will be done in the Power BI Desktop. So overall, if you ask me how much of job we are going to do in this Power BI Desktop means whatever the job in that 95% of the work we can do in the Power BI Desktop. Just 5% of your work will be there in the Power BI service. For that, you're going to use it very easily. You don't need to worry about the access for Power BI service. Okay. So I'll just show you how to publish the work and all. But you can focus mostly on Power BI Desktop. If you want to buy the subscriptions for Power BI service, it's your choice. But I don't prefer you do that. Okay, it's not much needed to learn as a data analyst regarding Power BI service. Okay, your 95% of the work will be delivered in the Power BI Desktop alone. That is sufficient. So this Power BI service is just used for sharing the report with other persons. You want to share with, suppose you have done some work, you want to share with me. Even I also need Power BI service access. If I don't have Power BI service access, you can't able to share with me. Person who wants to share and who needs that particular report, both of them needs to have the Power BI service access. Then only it is possible. If you only have Power BI service, you can't able to do anything. You need someone else also who need to have that Power BI service access. So that's the reason. Don't worry much about the access related things to Power BI service. Just focus on Power BI Desktop. I will show you how to publish your work into the Power BI service. So you don't need to worry about how to do that. Okay. So Power BI service is just like your things software related to sharing the things. Then what about Power BI report server? Power BI report server is also same. It is also used for sharing the report, but it is not a cloud one. I told you Power BI service is what? It's a cloud based storage, but Power BI report service is server based in the sense in the companies when they set up their own servers. In that particular server, I will also have this Power BI report. From there you are going to publish the reports. But again, for sharing the reports among Power BI service and Power BI report server, Power BI service is the best method to use it because it will cut the operational cost for the companies. Okay, you don't need to install your own servers to share. It's very wastage of money. So that's the reason why companies will opt for this Power BI service without paying any amount separately for the servers. You can share it, but if you have the subscription or the license for Power BI service, that is sufficient. Unnecessarily here you need to buy the license, you need to buy the server also. That is a wastage of money. So unnecessary operational cost. That's the reason companies will use the Power BI service for sharing the reports to the clients. Okay, so Power BI report server is also used for what? Used for sharing the reports. Okay, used for sharing the reports. So but you don't need to worry about much about the Power BI report server. So that is how the complete architectural diagram here using the visuals that you have been created in this Power BI Power View, and I will publish that to Power BI service, and from there I will share to the clients. Using Power BI reports are also you can able to do, but you can't able to do that correctly, and it will unnecessarily create a lot of costs for you. To cut that, Power BI service is the perfect one. So this is how the architecture diagram is. So what we are going to learn in this entire Power BI classes is total 4 modules you people are going to learn. First one is the Power Query, how to do ETL activities, and in the Power Pivot, how to perform the data modeling and how to use the DAX. You're going to learn in the Power Pivot, and the Power View is used for creating the visualizations. And those visuals we are going to publish to the Power BI service, and from there we are going to do that updating things, sharing the things to the clients. So these are the 4 modules under the Power BI classes you people are going to learn in the entire data analysis. You can perform using this Power BI desktop and Power BI service. So this is how the things are with respect to the Power BI. So we need to install the Power BI desktop. It's a very easy installation. Directly you can just refer to any browser and you can just go there and type for the Power BI desktop download. Okay, Power BI desktop download. So there will be Microsoft link will come on the top. You can just go into that website. Can you see the download option here? Just use that link. That's it. You just need to click on download. It will start downloading. After that, installation will be simple. Just go and keep on click next, next, next. It will install. So this is the link. Okay, I'll just copy that link in the notepad that I will send you for today. So this is what installation link. Okay, this is the installation link, and for people in the online, I am just also keeping that in the chat window, so you can able to just use that. Okay, so this link can be useful for installing the Power BI. So you can just use that, and you can able to install it. Clear? So this is how the entire Power BI architecture is. Today's class was completely focused on understanding the architecture of the Power BI, what we are going to learn, why we are going to use each and every software, what we are going to do in the Power Query, what we are going to do in the Power Pivot, what we are going to do in the Power View. Overall, Power BI is needed for performing the data visualization. How you can able to do in every module separately, I have explained. So from tomorrow's class, I'm going to start first of all with Power Query. Okay, we're going to start with Power Query. So try to install the software before coming to the next class using the link that I have been provided. Okay, so you can able to easily install it. Just click on that link, it will install the Power BI desktop. You don't need to take any subscriptions for Power BI desktop. Okay, and we'll start learning Power Query from tomorrow's class. It will take some time for Power Query and Power Pivot mostly, and remaining Power View and Power BI service within less time you can able to complete. But more time will be occupied in the Power Query and Power Pivot. Okay, so plan yourselves correctly to do the practice on every day once you complete these things. Clear? So we will stop up here for today. So from tomorrow we are going to completely occupy the time available. Okay.